Our project is E4E, Energy for Everyone. Created by Chloe, Daniel, Jaden, Kaya, and Tracy, our project is focusing on empowering the people of Chad through access to energy. E4E will be implemented in the city of Aum Hajer, located in the northern central African country of Chad. It will use biomass boilers with a mini-grid distribution to provide energy to Chadian communities. To do so, we will be implementing a sustainable community management system aligned with the culture and social structure of the country. This management system will regulate the energy production and distribution. The goal of E4E is to fulfill the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals number 7, affordable and clean energy, 11, sustainable cities and communities, and 12, responsible consumption and production. Overall, we hope to improve the living conditions of Chad as a whole and stimulate growth and prosperity.
Approximately 3 billion people live without electricity globally, with most of them living in less developed or rural areas that don't receive adequate funding to supply this resource. A country where the lack of access to energy is most prevalent is Chad, where only 8.5% of the population has access to electricity. Chad struggles to meet the Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations overall. This country also mostly relies on unsustainable sources of energy, such as coal and petroleum, which are non-renewable and damage the environment as well as the health of the people living in them.
The project uses Chad's pre-existing cultural groups and social norms to create a structure that is consistent with pre-existing structures by using sorghum and millet and letting small cultural groups decide how to best manage and distribute the electricity. This makes local groups in charge instead of the government. There was a large initial cost investment to buy the biomass boilers, yet using agricultural byproducts from sorghum and millet make it a sustainable and cost-effective way to run the biomass boilers. Additionally, using a mini-grid system is another cost-effective way to distribute the power. The process can be slowly implemented across small cities in Chad, and eventually into bordering countries around Chad. The project was made in a way that would minimize social conflict, which makes it easily scalable, yet also makes scalability a slow process.
In order to more effectively implement our ideas, we examined in detail the analytical components of our project. We found that the best metric for our project is measuring the percentage of the population with access to power. The population itself is on the younger side, and of particular note is very ethnically diverse. This leads to a feedback model where our solution takes into account and even leverages these social divisions. Other external factors to the project have less of an impact. The government of Chad is rather unstable and is unlikely to have an impact on local conditions. Other organizations, such as nonprofits or corporations, are unlikely to interact with the project until a comprehensive system is fully in place. By considering these analytical components, our project can be more effectively implemented.
Our project plans to have a very large economical, cultural, and ecological impact on this city in Chad. By creating a clean energy source for this society, the overall quality of life will increase as electricity will bring new forms of access to goods. Overall values and habits will become more consistent, and production of goods and consumptions will all benefit and increase. A clean energy source will bring a new form of well-being, creating an everlasting effect on the city to help them flourish, creating a new normal.
E4E directly meets our 3 chosen Sustainable Development Goals. About 80% of Chad currently lives without power. By implementing biomass boilers, we will lead the path to clean, affordable energy the biomass boilers can supply. In the long term, these boilers are sustainable. They are a carbon neutral source and don't produce excess waste. Instead, they use existing resources such as agricultural waste for fuel. Additionally, E4E will impact other SDGs as well. We'll see overall improved food and water safety as well as improved health measures through the emergence of hospitals or local clinics. We'll also likely see economic growth and the creation of jobs. We'll meet Goal 16 by working on community participation and cooperation. And finally, for number 15, increased infrastructure may lead to decreased amounts of land available for local natural plants and animals. However, while we do believe that the benefits will outweigh the costs in the long run, we will be sure to preserve important areas of biodiversity.
The biomass boilers must be maintained by the community to function properly. In order to accomplish this, we must consider Ostram's design principles for commons management. The most important principles to consider for our project are defined boundaries, monitoring, graduated sanctions, and conflict resolution mechanisms.
In conclusion, our goal is to bring clean energy to Chad to improve the livelihood, health, and growth of Chadian citizens and communities through innovative ideas and community participation. Looking to the future, there are certainly opportunities to expand this idea to neighboring communities or even countries. We also hope that E4E will inspire other countries to adopt similar practices, whether this be finding ways to use natural resources to supply power or by looking into ways to switch to cleaner energy sources.